Hey, queens, and for the kings that are in the room, welcome to our third annual Women's Empowerment Conference. Can I get a woohoo? That sounds better. That sounds better. Thank you. Thank you. Now that we've checked the energy, it's time to get started. I am excited to be here with you guys. For those of you who joined us before, welcome back. For the new folks, welcome to the fold. We hope they will join us moving forward every year, okay? Don't be a stranger to us. I will be one of your hosts. My name is Josephine McFarland, and my other host is Nicole Pitt. Come on up, Nicole. Hello, being amazing. Nicole Pitt. Hey. We apologize for the delay. We just had to make sure that all of our special guests are here to ensure that you have a full and amazing time with us this afternoon. And once again, it's such a privilege and pleasure to have you. You could have been anywhere. You could have been at a basketball game, eating somewhere, but you chose to be here with us. We truly appreciate it. If I could do the heart like Nicole, I would do it right now, but I'm sure she'll do that when she comes on later on. Without further ado, we're gonna get started with our meditation. Danielle, just want to just tell me, yes, I'm ready, and then I'll move forward for you.
Ready.
Okay. And before Danielle comes on, the theme for this afternoon is Rise and Reclaim Your Legacy. For those folks that are in person, you will have an agenda right there on your folders. And for those that are in Zoom, Jen, go ahead and email them the agenda, okay? Or put it in the chat, actually, it's easier. Okay, without further ado, we're gonna get started with some meditation to have us centered and getting ready to receive all the amazing information that will be presented this afternoon. We have with us Danielle Medina from Fit and Play Mama. She is the amazing, dynamic mom of one. She's also a fitness instructor, a Toastmaster, and the executive director of Fit and Play Mama. And without further ado, she's gonna take us into some meditation. Danielle, the virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you, Josephine, and welcome queens and kings to our another amazing Women's Empowerment event conference. It's just wonderful to be here. Let's ground ourselves right now and take time for ourselves, since it's going to be a very wonderful time with us today. And I would like everyone to put one hand on your heart center, one hand on your belly, and start to focus on the breath. You may close your eyes if you like, and take a deep breath. Feel the belly, fill up your lungs. And as you exhale, breathe out through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more inhale. Exhale. Place your hands on your legs. You can open up the eyes and then begin to think about how you are going to be the best person, the best version of yourself. We're all here today to work on that. And each of us have our special talents. And that's why we're here, because we're going to show you what has helped us throughout our lives. And we want you to come away with so much knowledge and wisdom from this. And we want to hear from you as well. We love being able to be a big community of supporters. And I want to leave you with this last statement of what Josephine said about being able to rise and reclaim your power. And that's what all of our presentations are going to be about today. So with that, I bring my hands to my heart center, and I'm bowing down to all of you wonderful, powerful people today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Danielle. Now I feel very relaxed. And if you see me falling asleep, you know why. It's because of Danielle. But I doubt that will happen because the folks in the room will keep me up and going. Yes. On our agenda, we have our poet. Come on up, Gabby. And I will do her intro. She is the amazing Gabrielle Campbell. She is a poet, a New Yorker, and more importantly, she's very new to launching her career as a poet. Her mom, who I've known for quite a while, who unfortunately isn't here, but I wish she was, but I know she's probably on Zoom. Lorna, if you're on Zoom, just say a quick hi. Just want to make sure you're here to see your daughter perform. She's getting dressed. Okay, if not, Lorna, it's being recorded. I really hope that you'd be here to see Gabby, but it's okay, you're here in spirit. Without further ado, we have our poet, Gabrielle Campbell, who will be doing an amazing job of entertaining us right now. The virtual platform.
Good afternoon. Hello. My name is Gabrielle Campbell. I usually go by Gabby. My stage name is Baines. I usually spell it with a Y instead of an I. Today I'm going to be doing a piece called 9 Days. It's pretty near and dear to my heart. I hope you can resonate. 9 days. Black girl, you are the most brave, yet most unappreciated species to grace Earth. Your determination holds no limit. Black girl, when they ridicule you for how many words fly out your mouth per minute, they will not understand that you have been gifted with the gift of speech. Black girl, do not apologize for sharing what's on your heart or mind or soul. Do not apologize for saying what needs to be said. Do not apologize for speaking the explicit truth. You are not a blackened parental advisory label on the bottom left corner of the world to scratch out. Black.
What are we on your phone for your icon?
Potential to become a black woman.
Wait, icon.
You will grow at your own time and own pace, and don't race or speed up if you feel left behind. Black girl, you will get left behind. In friends, in pay, in recognition. Black girl, you may have to hide your true nature from the world to protect your spirit. You may have to detach you from you. You may have to desensitize your emotions, but Black girl, you've gotten comfortable here. Black girl, change will come when you are the most satisfied. Black girl, when you see another Black death on TV, do not shrug, do not scoff, do not soak it into your energy. Ask why, get angry, ask questions, remember their name, remember their age, remember the cop. Change does not come from the nonchalant. Change does not come from sitting on your behind. If you condone it, it will continue. But you don't change, will remain. Black girl, you will have to hide your true nature from the world to protect your spirit. Don't you see how they miseducated Lauren? Black girl, they rip stars out the sky. You will have to detach you from me. You will have to desensitize your emotions, but Black girl, when will you feel? Black girl, your past has you paralyzed. Black girl, what you don't face now, you will face later. Black girl, acknowledge your hurt. Black girl, you've been suffering. Black girl, you said you wouldn't do this again. Black girl, you promised that you wouldn't fall back into the dark abyss. Don't believe that you can blend in there, that you can hide there. Black girl, you focus on all the promises made to you, but not the ones you made to yourself. You begged for freedom. I can see the marks you made by swallowing your tongue. Your self-harm internal, but Black girl, you promised. You promised, Mom, that you wouldn't question where you belong any longer. Black girl, when you gonna grow? Black girl, when you gonna live? Black girl, being alive and living are two different things. Black girl, when will you allow yourself to love? Black girl, when you gonna let go? Black girl, learn your history. Journal our current history. Black girl, continue reading and writing. Do things for the love of it. Don't do anything you don't love. But Black girl, you will have to sacrifice. Black girl, making a sacrifice and being a sacrifice are two separate things. Black girl, they will tell you, do not let your crown fall. But what will you tell them when your crown has fallen so many times for people who never deserved your loyalty? Black girl, you got a heart made of gold, and they will pawn it for everything it isn't worth if you let them. You are a negus. Black girl, you have a smile so radiant it can compete with the sun. Black girl, there will be people who can tell on the days when that smile doesn't have the same shine. Black girl, they will tell you that the sky is the limit, but will reprimand your daydreaming for having your head planted in the clouds. So, black girl, do not apologize for speaking the explicit truth. Black girl, do not apologize for your faith. Do not apologize for sharing God in the cleanest or dirtiest corners of the world. Do not apologize for sharing God, period. Black girl, you owe no one an explanation except those responsible for you and the one above you. Black girl, acknowledge your hurt. Black girl, use your voice. Black girl, speak up, or they will make sure that they do not hear you. Black girl, be heard. When they ridicule you, for how many words fly out your mouth per minute, they will not understand that God has gifted you specifically with the gift of speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabrielle Campbell, AKA Veins. I'm sure your mom is proud of you wherever she is. Now we're gonna move on after that amazing enlightening point about Black girls, Black women, and knowing that we have the power within us to be able to utilize our voice because we are special and we have one. Hence, do not be silenced at all. Now we're gonna move on to our very first speaker, Marsha Gregg. And I will do a shortened intro, Marsha, in the interest of time. Marsha Gregg is a dynamic professional who is the founder and CEO of She Thrives, Inc. She has been using her God-given purpose to be able to connect with her innate gifts through entrepreneurship and financial management. Marsha has tremendous experience as an assistant physical officer in the most prominent nonprofit organizations. Marsha, this afternoon, will be giving her speech on building financial literacy. Marsha, are you ready? Building financial literacy, Marsha Gregg, the virtual platform is yours.
Thank you, Josephine. But I just want to make one correction. It's building financial legacy.
Sorry, legacy.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies. It is such an honor to be here to speak with you this evening, seeing everybody looking so beautiful on Zoom and in the room. It truly speaks to the power of us as women. And we are in Women's History Month, and what a better time than now to have Woman Empowerment Conference. So this is our time, not just to reflect on the incredible contributions that women have made throughout history, but for us as women to rise up and write our own chapters. Throughout the generations, we've had women who have fought for the right to vote, the right to be educated, the right to thrive. And now we continue that legacy by taking up our positions in the world of financial empowerment. Today, as women, we stand at the intersection of opportunity and empowerment. We reclaim our financial destiny and secure a legacy that will echo throughout generations. We are not just building wealth as women, we are shaping the future. Can I get a show of hands? Those of you in the room, those on the Zoom, how many of you want to leave a financial legacy for your family? Put it in the chat. I want to leave a financial legacy for my family. Awesome. That's what I love to see, because as women, we have been told for too long that financial matters are complex. It is intimidating. It's not for us. But let me just clear the air and let you know that financial wealth is not for the privileged, it is for the prepared. It is for the woman like you and I who understands the power of her dollar, the impacts of her investments, and the strength of her financial choices. Turn to the person next to you and said, I am the CEO of my finances. If you're on Zoom, put it in the chat. I am the CEO of my finances. Doesn't that feel powerful? But let me share with you one of the most powerful tools in wealth building that I think many of us are not aware of or may not have been aware of. It's called the Rule of 72. How many people today are aware of the Rule of 72? Let me see your hands. Simply, what this means is you take 72 and you divide it by the interest rate or the expected rate of return for one of your investments. Maybe your Roth IRA, whatever your savings, whichever investment you like. And it will show you how long it takes for your money to double. Quick example, you have an interest rate of 8%. That means your money doubled in 9 years. How powerful would that be over decades? So, ladies, building a financial legacy, it's not just about accumulating the money, it is about intention. It is about investing wisely and understanding the power of compound interest and then making decisions that would outlive us. It is about setting up trusts, setting up wills, estate plans, so that the wealth we create today become the foundation for those who come after us. If you're like me, how many of us would have wished that our parents created a foundation so that we did not have to start all over? So let me share a quick story with you. I have a client that I met years ago. She started with nothing. She worked hard, like all of us. She saved, she invested wisely. She got to learn about the Rule of 72, and she utilized that and watched her wealth grow. But she didn't just leave it there. The most important thing she did was to pass that information down to her generations. And today, her grandchildren, not her children, but her grandchildren, are attending college debt free. And the family owns multiple businesses. Now, that is what I call financial legacy in action. Now, ask yourself, what kind of story do you want your family to tell about your financial journey? What do you want your grandchildren to say about you? What do you want your nieces to say about you? And while we're on building wealth, let's not forget about giving back, because true wealth is about impact. When we build financial security, we can fund scholarships. We can contribute to our economies. We can support our churches. We can build up our communities. You can empower others when you are financially secure. Wealth gives you a voice and it gives you influence. So today I want to challenge you. Start where you are. Don't be intimidated. Don't feel left out. Start saving, start investing, start planning. And turn to the woman right next to you and whisper to her, we are building wealth together. Because you see, when a woman builds wealth, she does it for her family, for her community, and for generations yet unborn. So before we close, I want you to do 3 things this week. Write it down if you have a pen, if you have a notebook, if you have a paper. If you don't, write it at the back of the agenda that you have. Just 3 things this week. Number 1, calculate your Rule of 72. Find that investment that you have or one that you're considering, get the interest rate and divide the 72 by that, and it will tell you how long you have for your money, your investment to double. That would help you to make a better decision with your investments. Number 2, start the legacy conversation. Speak to your spouse, speak to your daughter, speak to your granddaughter. If you've never had the conversation before about financial legacy, you can start that today. And number 3, take action on one thing. Open an account, open an investment account, start your savings, book an appointment with a financial professional so that you have a better idea as to where you are going financially, but do something to build your financial wealth. So ladies, I want to encourage you today, go forth and build your financial legacy. Thank you, Josephine.
Now that problem is fixed. Marsha, I feel wealthy already. Thank you very much for sharing the wealth of information that will allow us to be able to build our financial legacy. And I see one of my most favorite doctors in the room, Dr. Sandy Webster. Hi. Now we're going to move forward with our hot topic section. This session is about to get explosive. I'm just kidding. We have the amazing Miss Francois who will be moderating the hot topics session right now. Are you ready, Miss Francois? I know you were born ready. Go ahead, tell me.
I'm always ready.
Okay. Just give her a few seconds. Charles, are you ready? All right. Welcome, love.
In the back there. Now I know. I thought you was going to be joining me here. Okay. Hello, everyone. As she said, my name is Miss Francois. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy, as you can see. Yes, okay. Thank you. Entertainer, humorous, keynote speaker, and author. Yes, my God, I am amazing. With that said, I am the host of the Miss Francois Show, which uses humor to help all of you with the dysfunctional relationship. Right now, your relationship is very dysfunctional. In addition, I am the founder of something called Strident Goddesses, which I help women who are exploring their relationships or healing from their broken relationship. I help you to rediscover your self-identity so you can confidently transition to the next chapter of your life. You're welcome. With that said, we have some hot topics. And what am I going to do in this moment? First, I'm going to let all the speakers, because I'm going to have 4 different people on the panel. They're going to have 1 to 2 minutes. Believe me, I will cut them off if they go too long. You have nothing to worry about. But before I even start to introduce everyone, I want to make sure you ask yourself this question while you're listening to their answers. Make sure, I want you to think about where are you in your life and have you been holding back, and how would it feel to take your power back? So pay attention. Feel free to use the chat if you have questions. Maybe we'll look at them a little later. But the first person, since he's right next to me in this moment, I have Mr. Charles E. Cox. I'm not going to let him introduce himself because he might go long-winded. So I'm going to do it for him. He's a clinician, educator, and mental health advocate with over 25 years of experience. You're about 67. Okay. 25 years of experience. Dedicated to empowering individuals and communities through therapy, education, and interactive therapeutic game called More to Us. Woo! He's sweating a little bit.
Yes.
We have C.G. Lewis with us. Yes. She is a seasoned business leader, inspirational author, and sought after speaker who empowers women to turn vision into action. Her upcoming book, Brown Sugar Goals, Sweet Success, redefines goal setting with authenticity, culture, and purpose. C.J. Lewis, woo! We also have Kay Jackson. Kay is the CEO and founder of the Blueprint to Survival. She's a dynamic speaker and mentor who empowers individuals to overcome challenges and achieve self-sufficiency, drawing from her rich background in healthcare, human services, and public speaking. Okay, you clap after each person. That's the third one. We have Sandra, I believe it's pronounced Lugo. She is an NYC licensed clinical. We have a bunch of psychiatrists and okay, obviously something's wrong with a lot of you women. We have doctors in the house, okay? She's a therapist for over 20 years, helping individuals and couples improve their life. As a psychotherapist, she helps people navigate difficulties in relationship, careers, and life in general. With that said, even though you're standing next to me, you'll stand here for the whole thing, because you're gonna go last, because women are first, right, sir?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So the first question, I'm gonna go to CG. CG, are you hearing me? Well, is she on? Okay, so you're gonna have me looking all cute, just standing here, CG? Okay, is she able to unmute?
I was just unmuted. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Oh,
wonderful.
sorry. This is not, I was looking for CG. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Hello, my dear. So this question is to you. What is the number one thing someone, in this case, woman, can do to build strong and effective work relationships?
Thank you so much. So the number one thing when building relationships is to be intentional. And so when we think about intention is simply how we choose to engage with our own lives. And so you want to not just focus on networking, you really want to focus on relationships. You don't want to focus on being transactional. You want to focus on being reciprocal. The best way to do this is to just start with curiosity. You want to lead with being curious. And before you try to connect, you really want to focus on understanding, asking better questions, understanding what motivates people, what they value, how they communicate. And you want to really focus on listening. And that means actually listening, not listening to respond, but listening to understand, because really strong relationships are not built on being impressive. I know they tell us we got to be better than everybody else, badder than everybody else, but it's really built on intention, right? And so especially for us, and I'm going to speak for Black women in particular, we are already brilliant, right? And so learning how to walk in that brilliance in relationship, that's what's key. It's about being present. It's about being empathetic and listening strategically. And so understanding that to really build trust, you're not just trying to prove that you belong. You're just focused on being intentional for what you need from your new relationships and what you can give. I tried to stay under the 2 minutes.
Beautiful. So she was saying, mind people business, listen to what they have to say, and just record it, and so you could be able to regurgitate some of the stuff, okay? Good. Kay, is Kay there? Kay Jackson, founder of Blueprint to Survival. Okay, that's not a problem. We can go
If she's
right.
in the chat, if she's in the audience, I mean, in the virtual world, if she could raise her hand, we could find her faster.
Kay, if you're present, can you raise your hand, please? After all, I did say all these nice things about you. And that's not a problem. In sake for time, we could always come back to Kay. We can try to find her. In the meantime, I hope you all are putting stuff in the chat, because that was a great answer that Miss CG just gave us. So now we're going to go to Sandra. So Sandra, if you're in the chat, make sure you put your hands up so we can find you easily.
I'm right here.
Oh, I love me some Sandra. Thank you. You're going to get on the screen?
Can you see me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello, Sandra. My question for you this evening is, what advice would you give a woman after a breakup? And something empowerment that, you know, we women like to be invincible. So she's crying, she's fed up, and she's angry.
Hi, everyone. This is my first time here, and I was told I have 2 minutes or less. So my name is Sandra Lugo. I'm a psychotherapist and psychoanalyst. I see many women and men that come to my practice after a breakup, most of them very anxious and depressed and grieving. The first thing I ask is the story. I want to know what happened, and I listen carefully. Then I ask if they are aware of any patterns, because we all have attachment patterns. to see if, do I have a pattern? Am I drawn to somebody else? Is there something that repeats in my relationships? It's very important to have an awareness of what we bring and what the other person also, what we're drawn to. And I use a tool from DBT. DBT is called dialectical behavioral therapy. And there's a tool called affect regulation. In affect regulation, we have a balance of the rational mind and the emotional mind, because after a breakup, the emotional mind wants to take over. But we have to see things rationally also. So we can have, if there's a rational mind, and the emotional mind gets us to the wise mind. How are we here and what happened? And it's important to have your friends and talk to them, friends that really know you and will also help you through this, and also seek professional advice if that's needed. But also know if some things happen, if the relationship didn't work out, you deserve better. And sometimes it's knowing and accepting I deserve better takes a while. You think it's easy, you know it subconsciously, but sometimes you really need to know I deserve better. What happened? What am I repeating rationally? How can I look at what happened and balance it with the emotional mind, if that makes any sense? But I do see people all the time that come in to work on their relationship before they're married, during their marriage, after their breakup. But it's important to look at patterns. And a
Okay.
way to empower yourself is knowing your pattern and using a balance of the rational and emotional mind.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Sandra.
Mhm.
I will come back to Kay, and since this poor man been standing right next to me, I want to throw this question to you, sir. Charles, as the only man in the room, be careful what you say. Your question is, what advice would you give to women as to how to improve their marriage? I don't know why this is for women. You're okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Charles. What advice would you give to women as to how to improve their marriage?
How to improve their marriage. One of the ways we can be able to look at being able to improve the marriage and improve the marriage is through in-depth communication. Communication is a form of intimacy, right? And at times as we are married, we start to have transactional communication and we start to fall into the habit and routine. You gotta take care of the kid, you gotta communicate about the bill. Did you take out this? Did you take out the garbage? What did you do for work? How was work today? Those regular conversations that people begin to have. After a while, that becomes the habit and routine, and it really becomes kind of stale. So we want to be able to now engage in the marriage and build in the marriage and engage in the intimacy in a deeper level. When we talk about intimacy, we're looking at physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, communication intimacy. Identify which level of intimacy that you want to expand upon and dive in deep with, and then look at some of the barriers. What are the barriers? Is it habit, routine? Is it time? Is it rituals that we have not established in our marriage? One of the rituals that I really enjoy is that the exit and leaving greeting, right? When my wife leaves the house in the morning, I give her a hug and kiss, say I love you. When she comes back, hug and kiss, I love you, and we do the same. That's an example of a ritual that helps keep the connection in the marriage and also helps feed the intimacy of the marriage. And setting up times where you can communicate and partner with your mate, right? Because as time goes on and as we go with the habit and routine in the marriage, the communication becomes less and less and less. And we start working on assumptions. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to do. I know how this is going to happen. And that's why we want to be able to set up times where we can sit, have uninterrupted, not transactional communication, but emotional communication on a deeper level.
Okay, no, we're not gonna clap yet. We want to make sure Camille is he, does he greet you?
He does.
All right. No, we can clap. I just want to find out, is Kay on? Did we find Kay? We didn't find Kay? So not a problem. We are moving right along. I just wanted for all the speakers or all the panelists thus far, I'm gonna go first with CG. I just have one question, and this is for everyone. The question for everyone is, what is What is an empowering message or word of wisdom you can share with the audience before the session ends? You hear message or word? So keep it short.
The one thing I want to say is this: your power is not up for negotiation. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to shrink it. You don't need to apologize for it. All you need to do is own your power. Don't wait for permission. Don't think about rehearsing who you are. Just be who you are on purpose with intention and understand you are the assignment.
Did you just want to snap your finger after that one? Oh my goodness. So right then, Sandra, what is your response to that question, my dear? Do you need me to repeat the question or you heard the question?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think what she said is excellent. The prior speaker. I would say just get to know yourself and work on you. That is empowering. That's very empowering. If you don't get to know you and what you want, that gets in the way. So it's very important to do that. Have your girlfriends, your friends that really know you well, you can speak to. That's empowering too.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sandra. Josh, before you answer that question, that was a trick, right?
Yes.
To you, I wanted to ask you one thing. You have developed, we talked about More to Us, a product that helps couples. So can you tell us briefly, explain your product and share at least one juicy question?
Oh, absolutely. So the More to Us is a couple's experience. It's 150 questions. But not only is it the 150 questions, it's 15 weekly couples activities that people can be able to engage in. It's one thing to talk, but then it's like, what do you do, right? And I always engage and encourage couples, don't be boring. Get out, have recreation, intimacy, have some fun, go do some stuff. Go to the park, go walk in the park, go to an arcade game, go play video games, go have fun with your partner, right? And I created this activity because I realized there was a gap with the communication. I would advise clients that I work with, you have to have a conversation, sit down, talk with your partner. And the first thing that I would get, men and women included, what am I going to talk about? Right? So I said, you know what, there's a gap. And I created something to be able to kind of fill in the gap. And that was the More to Us, the couples experience. And one of the juicy questions that you talked about with it,
Keep it juicy.
which is one of the cards, is can you identify 2 behaviors you receive from me that you would label under the emotion of love? Because you want to get how people view your behavior.
No, you gotta read that. Read that.
Can you identify 2 behaviors you receive from me that you would label under the emotion of love?
Amen.
Right? Because that's really assessing how we show up. I don't get to experience it, but through conversation and communication, I get to see how my wife experiences it.
Wow, well said. So just the last, yeah, that need a clap. For me, that's all in, that's all in. I asked the other panelists, what was the empowering message or word of wisdom you wanted to share with everyone before we go?
Oh, get out your head, live in your present reality. A lot of times we live in our thoughts, we live in our past, we live in the future. What's gonna happen? Am I gonna get the big job? Am I gonna get this? Live in the now, enjoy the now. Stay in the present, because as the brain drifts to the future and to the past, you can get stuck there and you're missing out on the now.
Oh my God, beautiful. Encourage the guests in present and the one online, please share different questions. And for the panelists, make sure you put in whatever workshop, make sure you put in where they can contact you or social media, because people might want to get in touch with you guys, right? And don't forget to support our panelists. Check out their website, social media, like and comment. It could be something that simple to support. And you all here, but all better get one of these More to Us. More to Us. With that, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone. Please enjoy the rest of the event and don't forget to rise and reclaim your legacy. Thank you.
Oh, I have some here today. Yes, I have a.
Thank you, Ms. Francois, Charles, and to all the panelists as well. Thank you. I heard some amazing information shared. Please feel free to reach out to any of the guests and be able to collaborate with them to be able to ensure that your relationship is going to be moving to the next level, right? Yes. Can I hear an amen? Amen. All right, I just had to check 1 second. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if you got the message. See, I'm trying to do the voice because I don't know, maybe that was better. I'm just kidding. All right, without further ado, our next speaker is the one and only Nicole Pitt Foster. She has been a Toastmaster since 2019, actually the same year that I joined Toastmaster. And Nicole and I have been friends since then. Congratulations once again on your marriage. Nicole is one of the most humorous persons that I know. She's always busy. However, she takes time for her friends and her family. Right now, she has been working on several things within Toastmasters. In the interest of time, I'm not going to talk about that. She won the 2021 Humorous District Toastmasters Championship. Congratulations. She also won the Raul Yacine Award for Toastmasters. Oh. And she has worked in customer service for over 20 years. As you know, she got customer service down pat. Without further ado, her speech is titled Self-Care. Nicole, the virtual platform is yours.
Introduction. Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I have a question for you. Who here and online can say that they're a caring person to others?
And I can.
Out of hands. Yes. Now let me ask you the question. Who here can say that they treat themselves in the same manner?
Yes, I can.
Maybe 1 or 2 people. But the numbers has gone down dramatically. Good afternoon, beautiful ladies and women supporters. We appreciate you too. Today's a beautiful day, a beautiful spring day for us to talk about some truth and some love. Now, self-care is maintaining and improving your well-being, but it is intentional and it is ongoing, which a lot of people don't put in place. We as women always tend to put other people first. So if you're putting yourself first, you tend to put yourself to the back burner. But imagine you're driving a car and you're making all the stops because you're super Renaissance woman. You're picking up the groceries, you're going back and forth to work, you're doing any and everything you can throughout the day. Eventually, that car may run out of gas. Maybe the oil needs to be checked. How are you going to be able to live out your purpose, fulfill all the tasks that you have planned if you don't check the gas tank and take it to the mechanic? Do you have to wait till it breaks down, to at the side of the road, waving someone down, trying to show a little leg, so that a car will stop? Or are you going to get ahead of the game? The time is now. Self-care matters. Self-care, when you think self-care, the first thing that tends to come to mind is physical. You are well dressed. You have your makeup on. Maybe you got your glasses. Okay? Someone may ask the question, Nicole, you do not have a prescription. I do not, but don't I look smart? But it's not just about the outside. There are other aspects to self-care that a lot of people push to the side. There are actually 5 total. So if 1 is physical, that means there's 4 others we're pushing to the side. And so that we don't forget those 4 things, we have to remember without those 4 things, we will be a mess. Okay? That's M-E-S-S, mess. M, mental. Thinking about your thought process and your mind. E, emotional. How are you feeling? Truly feeling on the inside. S, spiritual. Your spirit, your soul, what grounds you, your beliefs to be the best version of yourself. And S again, for the social aspect. How you deal with family, friends, who can be chosen family, at events like this. How are you interacting? That all matters. I didn't think self-care was that important until it became important. I remember at the end of 2023, I met a man. And he's amazing. So when he asked me the question after getting to know him, because they gotta pass the test. When you get to know them and he asked the question, will you marry me? It took less than 10 seconds to answer that question with yes. Marriage is an ongoing journey when I find your partner. But the wedding day, that's another story. You have to think about the church, you have to think about the venue, you have to think about the photographer, the videographer. There's so many stages. I started another job I didn't even realize. And then there's the cake. What event can you have without cake? Now, I envisioned and we envisioned a cake with tears. We had a person that was gonna bake our cake, but then you have people who think they're gonna help, right? I had a family member that said, you're gonna pay how much for a cake? I could bake you a cake. I will bake you the biggest sheet cake. Duncan Hines, and you know what you do. No thanks, Auntie. And then you have people that's not responding to the RSVPs. I felt like I was a bounty hunter, reaching out multiple times. The answer is simple, yes or no. I don't need a story. Now I understand why people have done other options. Had I known, I might have done it outside of New York where I live. Some people run to the courthouse. I respect that. I wish I knew. 2, they might decide on a destination wedding. Thank you, Bahamas. You can't make it? That's okay. Here's my Zelle. But then there's also the eloping, where people try to escape. People think they're helping, but they're really not. So it makes me think over and over that song by Escape. What I need from you is understanding, which I wasn't getting. Self-care is important. But this is why I remind myself, and it's important for us to hone in on us. How can we move forward when there's a weight holding us down and not allowing us to progress forward? So we're not just here to talk about how self-care was important to me, but how it's important to each one of you. M, the mental, the mind. Get those thoughts out. It's important to journal. It's important to put that out there. At night, if you're thinking about errands that you have to do the next day, get a to-do list where you can write it down. Because when you do that, you're taking it and alleviating the weight on your mind. E, the emotional aspect of it. How you're feeling, own it. If you're feeling something inside, own it. Dealing with the wedding, no one had any clue what was going on the inside. A week before my wedding, I broke out in a rash. That was not on my to-do list. I'm thinking about everything that's going on. I thought I was gonna get 8 hours of sleep before the wedding. I got less than 4. Thank you, Maybelline. I look like a princess. But there was a weight on me. Even before that, just knowing that my mom, who passed away from cancer, was not gonna be there, I would have wished that the people that were causing problems said, hey, let me just check in on you. But I'm grateful that others did. But it shows you who those people are. And when those people show you who they are, believe them. Stop trying to change them. We do that for women, we do it for men, we try to do it for ourselves. Let's stop that. Think of your emotion, own how you're feeling. S, spiritual. What grounds you? What tells you who you are and who you're gonna be into purpose and vision? For me, that's God, because I didn't know Jesus. I'll probably be in prison. But I'm here today. What grounds you? What do you need to do? How do you need to separate? It's important to do. S again, the social component. Who are your close friends? Who are your real friends? Not someone that's like your distant aunt. How are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. World War III is happening in your life, people. You need people that you can be real with. You can have accountability partner. And you're like, now is the time that I can own it and receive it. So I challenge each one of you today. What about your mess that you have to deal with? Which one should you hone in on and say, I really need help in this area? And say, and think about what you can do to help improve that. And remember, it should be intentional and ongoing because you don't want to be a mess. Think about it. Mental, emotional, spiritual, and social. You are better and you are here for a reason. It is not by accident. So many people are going into a state of depression silently. That's not your path. You are here for a reason for this season. It is not by accident. Own it, walk in your truth, and build people up along the way. But you can't build others if you're weak yourself. The time is now. Own it. You gotta feel that. Now is the time. And I look forward to your success.
Amazing job, Nicole. Just checking the temperature. How do you feel now? Great. You folks are a little bit quiet. How do you feel now? I wasn't sure if I had to get the bass voice coming out. But I think we're good right now. In the interest of time, I'm going to reduce the next activity because your time is precious and we appreciate you being here. Hence, just go along with the flow as I try to shrink it, but still give you a lasting impact. And once again, to everyone that has gone thus far, it's been amazing. I hope everyone is feeling the energy and you're motivated towards leaving a better legacy, not just for yourself, but also for your children if you have any, or for your family in general. Are we ready to find out how we can rise and reclaim our legacy? Yes. Okay. This is what I want you to do. And for those of you who are not okay with closing your eyes, it's a safe space. That's okay. Do whatever works best for you, whether you're virtual or in person. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable at all. I want you to take a few seconds, close your eyes if you want to. And I want you to think about what a legacy means to you. Think about the legacy that your family has left for you. Think about the legacy that you want to leave behind. Now that I think you have that in mind, I want you to think about these three words: resilient, empowered, and inspiring. Resilient, empowered, and inspiring. And you may open your eyes. For those who want to jot those words down, feel free to do that as well too. I want you to take some time and reflect on your triumphs. What have you excelled in? And I need some volunteers right now. Anyone virtually, let's do the virtual audience first, unmute. Name one triumph that you've had in your life. One triumph. Triumph. Yes. Anything, any victory, anything that just made you feel amazing. One triumph. We have some shy folks. How about the in-person? One triumph, something that you just did an amazing job at. You feel really great about yourself.
A big triumph for me is my daughter. She's 8 years old. I feel like I'm doing a really good job. Some days I don't know, but I feel like I'm doing a really good job, and I'm really proud of that because it's not easy. If there's any parents and moms and other moms and all, you know, it's not an easy journey, and I'm only at 8, so y'all break me through, right? And I feel like that's the. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's number 8. Yeah. I feel like that's a great thing for me and a big triumph. It's gonna sound cliche, but marrying this man right here, he has been a rock like no other. He has a great mentor. His father who passed away. He is a great man, and I'm truly blessed to be able to have that journey and that triumph, the child all together. Biggest thing. I've accomplished a lot of things in my life, but those are some of the two on the top of the list.
Lada, thank you very much, Camille, for sharing it. 8 is great. Hopefully 9 will be greater. Let's see what happens. I know you're praying. Lada, go ahead.
Overcoming a health challenge like cancer.
Oh. Overcoming any health challenge is remarkable, but overcoming cancer, you are a goddess, Lana. Let's give her another round of applause.
If anything, it empowered me. It really wasn't something that it just empowered me because it made me realize how strong and powerful each and every one of us are. We are all incredibly powerful. We just keep forgetting that part. So you guys, I can overcome anything. You can overcome anything. You can do anything, be anything, and create anything. And that's, especially anything in your lives.
Thank you for that, Lana. And you're actually heading in my direction, which is why I asked about a triumph. Sometimes we don't know what our victories are. We don't know what our triumphs are until something devastating happens. Whether it's you being sick, being in a hospital, God forbid, being on a respirator, where you're fighting life and death. In those very moments, what are you thinking about? You're not thinking about that boss that you don't like. You're not thinking about that ex that won't say ex. You're not thinking about your partner. You're not thinking about your friends. All you're thinking about is, how can I live? How can I survive? And then once you make a little deal with God, because most of us go there, God, please, if you only allow me to survive, God, please, if you give me at least 1 more week, right? We're not asking for a year or 2 years, at least a week, because then we come back around and try to renegotiate again, right? For more time. If you give me another chance, essentially, I will make best efforts to be the best person. That's the deal that we always make when we're facing death. My question is, why do you have to face death in order to think about what you really need to do, what your purpose is, and why you're here? Why do we do that? Why does our back have to be against the wall in order to think about what we need to do? Anyone? Why do we do that? Go ahead, Camille.
I'm sorry, I can tell you that because we are taught to put ourselves on the back burner. We're going to, like the young lady you said, the sacrifice and being the sacrifice, the difference. We are the people who take care of the entire family. Everybody looks great, house is still standing, everybody got what they need. But in reality, the private struggles that we have, the things we're not addressing, that mental health. Where's the young lady with the mess? The mental stuff, putting on the back burner saying, oh, and then you have the community. If your community is not forward moving or they're not people who are enlightening, they're telling you, oh, you got this, but are you really checking in with me to see if I got it? And what does having it mean? Does it mean continue to give everything I have until there's nothing left for me and everyone else thrive? You know, I think that we have to learn, like you said, you have to put yourself first, because like they say in the emergency, cover your face first before you get anybody else. And we have to learn that, and we learn that later in life. Because a lot of them, we start teenage girls, taking care of brothers, sisters, families, households, everybody. That is what we're taught culturally. And you know, it's like a badge of honor back in the day. But now, who wants that badge when you can barely stand? We have to really focus on us empowering us, keeping us strong. Like the young lady said, we are strong, but sometimes you don't realize how strong you are because God has given you that grace and that blessing to do it, and you just it comes so easily. How many of y'all can run your whole house on phone? You be sitting here because it's what we can do. God has given us that, but it is okay to say nope. Let me focus on myself. Let me know how strong I am. You know, so we don't have to get to those sick days and the bedridden days. We don't want to be there. We want to be healthy, moving, thriving, out on Saturday, looking fabulous with our sisters and honorary brother, right? So
it's okay, you're good, Camille. You're right on target, and you're not even reading my script at all. That just shows that God puts all of us here in this room, virtually and in person for a reason. It's by no accident that you're actually here with us. You are supposed to be here this afternoon to hear this information, to collaborate with each of us, to build yourself up even more. That way, you're gonna be fiercer than you were before you step in here and more fabulous. Because that is your destiny. You were born with that seed of greatness. Just have to nourish it a little bit. As Camille said, especially for most minority women, whether you're Black or brown, whether you're Hispanic, Black, you name it, anywhere in the diaspora, what were we taught as children? We were all given dolls, right? Well, maybe I'll do a poll. Maybe it was just my household. Raise your hand if you did not have a doll as a little girl. Doll.
I drowned mine.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, I'm not sure what happened, but.
We will edit that one.
Barbie didn't know how to swim. Barbie did not. Oh, it wasn't Barbie. Was it Cabbage Patch? What was it?
No, it was a tall, walking, talking white dog.
Oh, it was a. Oh, I see why you. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Yeah. I actually remember the story now, Dr. Yes, Dr. Webster. She shared that story with me, and I forgot until you mentioned it. But I know, I absolutely remember why you drawn that dog. And for those of you out there wondering, she is not a sadomasochist. I promise you, she doesn't need to be incarcerated. She got a really valid reason that we can talk offline about. Essentially, most of us had one or more dolls growing up. We were taught how to change the clothes, feed it, burp it, put it to sleep, cook, and clean, because most of us had the Barbie set where we had an entire thing all set up. We were trained to be caretakers. We were cultivated to be those in our families that took care of everyone. And what happens towards the end? A gorilla on our back after a while. It's too much weight to bear. And as Camille said, similar to being on a plane, you have to be able to pull the oxygen mask over yourself before you can help anyone else. Hence, right now, I'm going to implore you to think about at least one thing. For those super achievers out there, go ahead, pick 2 or 3. But I'm only asking you for one in the interest of time. What legacy, if you were to, I don't want to use that word because I don't want any of you to pass away, but let's say if you had a short time on earth, because you can walk out and anything can happen. Let's say you had a short time on earth, and there's one thing that you would want to say to God, you know what? I came here and I did it. What would that be? What would be that one thing, that one purpose that you know in the depths of your heart that is something that you have that gift for, that talent, that's one thing. Maybe you're already doing it. If you're not doing it, write it down and we'll talk about it in a second. Give me a couple seconds, 30 seconds now. We don't have a lot of time. If you're already doing it, that's fine, write it down. I'm gonna expand on that a little bit. One thing, if you were to leave, hand? Oh, yeah, Charmaine. Dr. Nadine, I see actually. Go ahead for whoever has your hand raised. Dr. Nadine, you can go first.
So what was the question again? What's the one thing?
If you were to leave this earth right now, and in looking back, you had to think about, oh my goodness, I didn't accomplish that one goal or that one thing that I wanted to do, and you're feeling regretful about it. Right now, looking onward, what is that one thing that you would not want to leave this earth without doing?
So when I get to heaven and I'm speaking to the Lord, I would say, God, I thank you that you allowed me to be resilient enough, tenacious enough to accomplish opening the doors for hundreds of thousands of children, underserved, marginalized, who are struggling in school, to help them to discover who they are, geniuses, and to excel in school. That's what I would tell him. Thank you. I was able to accomplish it despite the setbacks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, I only take one online person. Please feel free to put your information in the chat. Whatever that one thing is, put it in the chat. And for one person that's here in the room, go ahead, Susie.
I would say that I left a legacy with my children to learn to serve others. And not to be selfish, to think about others. But of course, take care of themselves first. Make sure that they're strong and that they're capable of serving others.
Beautiful, thank you. The gift of service. I'm sorry, go ahead,
I'm
Shirley.
just gonna read some of them online.
Go ahead quickly, thank you.
And Alexandria says graduating college. Octavia says, well said, because women do so much for the grace of God. Very important to talk care of ourselves first because we take care of the world daily.
And one more, Shirley.
One more Janine, showing my family and friends your talent is limitless. Keep kicking down doors.
Thank you, and I'll take one more in person. Go ahead, Gabby.
I technically would piggyback off the last person. I put using my art to touch and inspire others. I feel like a lot of times with all of the stuff that you have to do in every day-to-day setting, people lose sight of the hobbies that like kept them and like kind of help them like, you know, just stay inspired and uplift them every day. I feel like when you get into the regular hustle bustle, you can lose that. So I think getting older but still always practicing your craft helps to inspire others to be like, oh, I could go back to what I was doing. And I'm like,
amazing. Thank you very much for sharing for everyone. In the interest of time, I'm not going to ask anyone to share their feedback for the next thing. Before you leave today, I want you to write down one thing that you're committed to doing moving forward. And every single day, I want you to take, I'm going to do the fingers as if I'm in kindergarten, 10 minutes. 10, 5 and 5, 10 minutes every single day, and write down before you go to bed at night what you're going to do the next day to achieve that legacy. What you're going to do incrementally to achieve that legacy. And the reason why I'm saying every day is that if you keep skipping days or weeks, eventually it's out of your mind and you don't do it. But when you think about it before you go to bed at night, you're forcing your unconscious and your subconscious to think about it, to marinate in it while you're sleeping at night. And when you wake up in the morning, it's already here and you're thinking about it. And if you make it a daily habit, it stays with you and it becomes a part of who you are. Can I get some commitment? Raise your hand. Yes? Okay. So that's pretty much it for the Rise and Reclaim portion of this activity. We are set to take a break. I'm going to skip the feedback because we did that interactively. Can we make it 4 minutes? We're at 3:23, 4 minutes. Yes. And for everyone who's in person, we have some vendors in the side. Please feel free, go ahead and check out what they have. Spend some money with them, please. And for those that are online, for those who are online, we can put the information in the chat for you and that way you can connect with them. 4 minutes, Madam Timer, 4 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, beautiful ladies, and for the kings that are with us. Thank you for being timely in the break. It is now my pleasure to introduce my co-host, Nicole. Nicole, she's still trying to get folks to come back. Nicole. I'm going to pass the virtual platform over to Nicole.
Thank you, Josephine. I had to try to bring back people from the other room. God gave me an internal mic. I had to. But according to our agenda, we're excited about what's happening today. I know you feel filled in some aspect already, but we're only halfway through. So next up, we have a dynamic speaker, Josephine McFarland. She gave me her bio, people. It's about 6 paragraphs. I'm not gonna read it all. I'm gonna say about 3 sentences because we all know, if you know Josephine, you know she is dynamic. She is a woman that has a light that needs to shine, and it does in everything that she does. She has so many accolades at work. She has so many within Toastmasters where we met. You can't fill a room. This room would not work, this building, maybe the block, but maybe a little further would work. She has so many acknowledgements, so many awards, I wouldn't even begin to start naming it. But she has it in leadership, communication, working with others, helping to build people. She's a builder. There are some people in the world that are takers. She's a builder. So make sure if you haven't used your pen already, which I hope you have, make sure you do a little tap on the tongue. Make sure it's ready. Do the circle if you need to, because you're gonna have to jot down a lot of notes on this one, because it is time to put it all together, and Josephine is the perfect one to do just that. So take your last bite if you haven't already, and put your hands together for Josephine McFarland. Close your eyes. Now open them.
Imagine being born with the seed of greatness within you. Imagine knowing that you have a purpose on this earth. Imagine knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you are fabulous and enough. What would that look like? I hope you have a picture in your mind. If you don't, I hope towards the end of my speech, you will be able to reclaim that little girl that was amazing and fabulous. And for the men in the room, you will reclaim that little boy that was amazing, but no longer is. Let's go back in time a little bit. It was 13 years ago, I walked into a room filled with power. To my immediate right was Captain Cringe. And I'm using some AKAs because there are a few folks on the virtual platform and in the room who might know who these people are. And if you do, don't put it in the chat and don't say anything in the room. I want to maintain my job. Okay? We understand the instructions, right? All right. We'll call him Captain Cringe. When I walked into the room with confidence, beauty, and ready to maintain my leadership role and to utilize my voice to be able to elevate others, Captain Cringe looked at me and rolled his eyes. The Brooklyn in me said, oh no, oh no, oh no! I cannot believe he just did that. I had to catch myself, beautiful queens and kings. Because again, I have a mortgage, I have some children, I need my job. After I was able to put myself together, I looked to the opposite side and there was Mr. Manners. He had a beautiful sunshine that just lit up the room and he was statuesque. I was saying, oh, if I wasn't married. That man was fine. But you know, I definitely appreciate my married vows, hence why I just smiled back at him. In my mind, that was going to be an amazing meeting because I was there, finally, the youngest director in my division, walking into a room of power, having the ability to have a seat at that table. Having the ability to share my voice, to be impactful, and to no longer just be a regular person at my agency. For many years, I wanted a leadership position. I wanted to be one of those people that are making a difference, not just sitting there and just following policies and procedures because it's said that when it's supposed to follow policy and procedure. I wanted to be able to shake things up a little bit. Honey, I see the faces. You know what happened, right? Shut down. Shut down completely. I started speaking, sharing my wonderful vision, all of the amazing things. Every time they asked a question about a challenge that we're raising, me. I was excited. Yes, I want to be able to share my response. The third time, after me saying, I read the room, I read the temperature, and of course, Captain Cringe reminded me, Josephine, you're not it. You're not it. Ugh, I was disgusted. However, I knew that I had a purpose and I could not give up at all. I looked back at Mr. Manners and saw his reinforcing smile, and he uttered the following encouraging words. Josephine, you got this. Whoa, the face. I said, okay, I got this. I can do it. I went on and I presented my position during that meeting. And of course, there were colleagues that really appreciated my perspective and said I had a refreshing vision that I'm sharing with the agency, and they love my exuberance and all the wealth of information that I brought to the agency. Of course, there are others, similar to Captain Cringe, who could not stand me at all. Who does she think she is? Sashing into the meeting, looking all cute. Did she even eat? Look at her. Oh, no. I see her plate. She went back twice. Obviously, she ate. Queens and kings, I pay them no mind because my mentor, Miss Elevate, came to me and said, Josephine, you did an amazing job at this meeting today. No matter what Captain Cringe says or all those negative Nigel and naysayers says, know that you have a purpose. You're put here on earth for something. Hence, remember who you are. Remember why you joined our agency. And if I remember correctly, you wanted to be able to make a difference in the lives of children and families. That warmed my heart. That reminded me that no matter what others say, I need to know who I am and be able to live in my purpose. Right now, I want all of you to think about that one person who just cannot stand you. Or maybe it's the opposite way, you can't stand them. Think about that image. And as you think about it, I'm doing that. Pop that balloon, throw it away. They do not matter. You are enough by yourself. You are born complete. Hence, it doesn't matter what Captain Cringe or whoever that person is for you is. Remind yourself of what your purpose is. What is your why? Why are you at your agency? Why are you in your relationship? Why are you friends with the people that you're friends with? What is your why? And then once you've rediscovered your why, ask yourself, am I living in my why? Am I enough right now? My answer is, you are enough. You are born with that seed of greatness. No matter what anyone says, go back to the exercise that we did earlier about legacy. Think about what your legacy will be. Are you going to rise and reclaim your legacy now? Or are you going to let the negative Nigels and Captain Cringe out there define who you are? I say, no, do not do that. Reclaim your legacy. Think about your why. And right now, say it with me. I am bold.
I am bold.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
And I'm ready to take over this world.
And I'm ready to take over this world.
And every day, I want you to think about those 3 words and do at least one thing every day to rise and reclaim your legacy, to do not be defined by others, because you are enough and you are amazing.
Josephine and her speech, you are enough, now rise up. Now, I don't know about, I know you're seated right now. You might have rose up at home, but here it was time. So thank you, Josephine. You always bring your A game. I don't think she's ever seen an F in her life.
No.
That is her A game. If there was extra credit, she took it. So really appreciate her. So for the next part, we have a panel.
Yes.
We're doing the panel aspect of it. And you guessed it, our moderator will be, no, not me, don't look at me. It's gonna be Josephine, who again has a background in social work and child welfare. She does amazing for our community, for our world. So thank you, Josephine, and the floor again is back to you.
Thank you, Madame. For those of you that are wondering, why does she have her MacBook with her? I have come to the understanding that I need some reading glasses. I gave up on using my phone earlier. I could not read the word legacy. Oh, look at that. No, she's a good friend. She is giving me her reading glasses. I know it might not be the right prescription, but you know what? I appreciate the gesture. It was a good gesture. We like friends like that. I am going to be honest and say I cannot see a thing on that phone. And my MacBook, that way I'll be able to see and read the Bible purposely and not be able to mess up anything. For those of you out there that are not in alignment with what your vision is, take this as a hint. Go ahead and get yourself checked out. Without further ado, I'm gonna move forward with the last panel discussion. In the interest of time, I'm only gonna ask one question. I apologize, esteemed guests. However, we are at 3:42 p.m. And our first guest is Emil. Slowly, come on up, Emil. Hey, you can stand right by me. So we are gonna hug. Yes. And everyone can see you. I'm gonna minimize your bio. She's an adjunct faculty at Monroe University. She's also been around for quite a while. She has worked with Magic. She's been at the men's convention in Los Angeles. She's also an avid reader, Toastmaster, and a published author. The amazing Emil.
Thank you.
Next, we have Avalara. So she is on Zoom. If you can raise your hand, that way the Zoom master can find you. In the meantime, there you go. She is an internationally acclaimed consultant and transformation celebrity life coach. Go ahead, honey child. She offers a holistic approach. She has been seen on Voice of America, Real Housewives, and of course, Huffington Post. Thank you for being here, Avalara. I don't believe that Alicia is on the virtual platform. No? Okay. Next, we have Caressa Johnson. She is a passionate speaker, published author, and she's dedicated to empowering women. I just want to make sure that Caressa, you're there. Just raise your hand.
She's on the phone, but she's here.
She's on the phone. She has been featured by you sometime on Shout Out Atlanta, Voyage, Plugged In, CBS, and Fox News. And we also have the amazing Dr. Nadine S. James. Thank you for being online. It's a brilliant scientist who has participated in the first cancer treatment facility at Roswell Park Cancer Center. She's also, I hear someone. Okay, go ahead, Madam Zoom Master, take care of that. She also is the CEO of Illumination Inc. It's a nonprofit organization that has the goal of being able to empower minorities to be able to connect to STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Hence, kudos to you, Dr. Nadine. We're gonna go ahead, let me see, there goes, I see you now, Caressa. We're gonna go ahead and be able to ask a few questions of these amazing ladies. And in the interest of time for anyone, if you want, please, I beg you, just go in the chat and be able to share any questions that you have, any kind of messages, because you're in for a really amazing time. For those of you who are on Zoom, please take a look at the virtual timing because you're gonna need that because we're trying to stay on time, okay? And we're gonna start with Caressa. Caressa, your question is, how do you heal from trauma?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Before I speak on how to heal, I need for you guys to know that no matter how many obstacles you face in your life, you can heal. Let me say that again. You can heal. I also need for you to know that healing is your responsibility. When you rely on others for your healing, you create unrealistic expectations, which then lead to further pain and trauma. There are so many ways that we can heal. Everyone's journey will look different. Instead of giving you a long list of ways to heal that you'll likely forget the moment that you walk out those doors, I'll leave you with this. Healing starts when you learn how to navigate the pain of being mishandled. Your value is not determined by those who fail to recognize it. And if you would like that list, then I'd love to share the answers that have helped me over the past few years, which I have wrapped up in my journaling guide, Laxa.
Thank you very much for that, Caressa. Really appreciate it. And Emil.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought we were gonna do all the people online first.
No, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. That way it doesn't get boring and for them not to be able to.
I'm right here.
Okay. Emil, reclaiming one's legacy often means redefining narratives, overcoming obstacles, and embracing one's true impact. Can you please briefly share how you have reclaimed your legacy?
Yikes, tough question. Hello, everyone. Are you having a good time so far?
Yes.
I hope you're finding our empowerment conference empowering.
Yes.
And I'd like to thank all the facilitators and everyone who's making this possible for us to gather for this beautiful afternoon. I know I have 2 minutes. How am I reclaiming my legacy? In so many ways. In so many ways. So I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. I became a mom at 20. So redefining narrative started right away. I'd only been in this country about 7 years. So I hadn't given myself enough time. So if I'm answering the question honestly, I'd have to say I'm constantly redefining what the expectation was, because I'm also Jamaican. So at the time that I'd be like, "You mash up our life." Gosh, you're so smart. I should go get pregnant. That was the end of me. No one's right. And so if you're from that upbringing, you hear that and then you can believe that. And luckily for me, I never owned it because I just thought it was a part of my journey. And so I've spent the last, let's not count them, years just challenging myself not to stand in the room of the narrative that surrounded the experience I was having. It was different. It looked the same like some of the other experiences other people were having, but mine was going to be different because I get to determine that. I believe that everything I've done since then has been to redefine the narrative of the unwed mom or the baby mom or the whatever the moniker is that seems to be ascribed to you as you're along your path. Because it really is a journey. No one knows where you're going to end up, right? But then while you're challenging yourself or while life is challenging you, there are all of these narratives that you have to contend with. And so I do believe every day I am walking in the space of redefining what it looks like to be pregnant at 19 and a mom at 20. Can life happen after that? The answer is absolutely.
Amazing. She's a Toastmaster, and we can give you some details about that later on if you want. Next, we have, let's mix it up a little bit. Dr. James. Dr. James, how can women in science and leadership be able to effectively navigate the challenge of systemic barriers and biases in a male-dominated world? No offense to you, Charles, in a male-dominated world, while paving the way for future generations. And I'll shift it a little bit to make it a little bit more concrete because I see your eyes going. How can women in science and leadership effectively navigate and challenge systemic biases in a male-dominated world while paving the way for future generations?
Very good question,
Josephine.
Josephine, thank you so much for that question. So for me, I came to Buffalo in 2003 for graduate school. And that school should have ended in 2006. However, in 2006, I was asked to leave my master's degree. I was asked to leave one program with a master's degree because they thought I wasn't good enough. And I ended up at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. When I came to Buffalo in 2003, one of the things I was tasked to do was to go into the school system as we were creating chemistry week. And so I was asked to go into the school system. And then I noticed that the students in the school system in the inner city weren't getting the same level of science education as those in the suburbs. That left an indelible mark for me. And so I thought from then I wanted to do something about it. Anyhow, navigating my studies was very difficult because I kept hearing, you're not good enough, maybe this is not for you, and so forth, so forth, so forth. As I traversed, while I was at Roswell, there in December 2009, this was the day, December 14, 2009. It was the day before my proposal defense. as I'm getting ready to go home, I was struck down by a car. This car ran over me. I broke my sacrum, and the car ran over me and reversed off of me. I broke my sacrum, and everybody was saying, oh, she's going to leave with a master's. However, I got up and I completed my proposal 1 year later. Traversing being a woman in science for me, had been very difficult. I had numerous setbacks. However, knowing my purpose, I came in with one thing to say, I want to go into the pharmaceutical industry. But then I realized that's not where God was steering me. He was steering me towards working with children and helping them to discover their genius, discover who they are, and pull them into the sciences and help them to know that they can learn and learn well. Okay, so the most recent things that have happened, you know, I've been doing what I've been doing as the president and CEO of Illumination for some time. This idea, as I told you, started from 2003. And, you know, I kept pushing it out there. I kept going and talking to people who I thought were in position to help, especially men. And I kept wondering, how is it that I'm showing them that this program works and I'm not getting any help in this regard? And what I realized just last year, Josephine and Dr. Sandy were a part of helping me to present a gala and so forth. I realized all this time I've been doing all that I've been doing, and men have been taking what I've been doing and running with it as if it's theirs. And so all this time when I'm thinking that I have not been impactful in terms of getting funding, I've been impacting students but not getting funding, others have been taking what I'm doing and presenting it as theirs and getting the funding. And so one of the things that I would say is, for me, trust no one, especially.
I wasn't expecting that one.
Trust no one. I mean,
agreed.
You have to be wise and be discerning with the persons that you allow in your space. And I heard one person say it earlier, listen, read, know what it is that you're agreeing to, and all that lovely stuff. So that's what I would say in being a woman traversing science.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
My answer is the first part of what she said about being able to be a content expert, right? Knowing all the information, getting all the credentials. However, what our grandparents and parents taught us is really trust no one, because at the end of the day, you have to have your back, front, side, because that's, I'm serious, because truly that's the only person that you can count on. And God, if you're religious, because he will never fail you. But unfortunately, human beings from time to time, they will fail you, especially in the professional arena, because some folks, they want to be able to have information out there and claim it as if it's their own, when it really isn't their information. They take, because they're takers, even if it's their information, and act as if it's theirs, because they want those credentials and they want to be able to gain that. I'm sorry?
I said without the work.
Yes, without the work, absolutely. And they want to be able to, in the spotlight, and they haven't put in the necessary work. Hence, Dr. Nadine, thank you for that, for keeping us true and authentic. Last but not least, Avalara, what powerful shifts can the audience make to have healthy habits, overcome self-doubt, step into their potential? What powerful shifts can the audience make to have healthy habits, overcome self-doubt, and step into their full potential?
Hello, ladies. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. I'm Ava Laura. I'm a life coach, intuitive consultant, speaker. I say all of that to say that I have 2 minutes and I could literally speak about this for 2 hours. So feel free to connect with me after. I am going to give you the cliff note version of this. All right. Get your notes out. I'm going to give you my 3-step formula, my AAA formula. 3 A's. in anything in life that you're doing, trying to do, wanting to change, we've talked about creating legacies. We've talked about shifting our finances. We've talked about self-care. We've talked about healing, and any of these things, this applies. The first thing that you have to do when you're wanting to shift, when you're wanting to create change, you have to accept where you are right now. So in this moment, wherever you are, good, bad, ugly, you have to accept it. It doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean it's where you want to be. It simply means that you accept right now in this moment that this is where you are. And what happens for a lot of us, what we do is we blame, we shame, we play victim, we deny. And when you're doing any of those things, you can't be in the moment with what you are. And if you can't be in the moment and accept where you are right now, you can't change it. Y'all understand that? Got that? Mm-hmm. So number one, acceptance. Number two, once you accept where you are, now you have to ask for help. Mm-hmm. This is where many of us fail. One of these three or all of them, right? But asking for help, not asking for help from your mama, from your sister, from your friends, from people who are in the same situation as you, asking for help from people who actually are in a position to help you, right? Professionals. Do not be afraid to seek professionals, mentorship, therapy, whatever it is for you in that particular area. Somebody mentioned a car, right? And self-care, and you have to take care of your car, and you have to get oil changes, and you have to get tune-ups in the brakes. I mean, are you going to go on Google and try to fix your own car, or are you going to take it to the mechanic? Go to a professional. Everything that I'm telling you, I have seen over my 19 years. This is where the pitfalls, where people fail in whatever they're trying to reach their potential, when they're trying to live their best life, all the changes that you're trying to make. These are the pitfalls. The third thing is, after you ask for help, guess what you actually got to do? Action. Because how many of us know we collect information, right? We're going to go on Google. We're going to collect all this information. We're going to be on TikTok. We're going to get all the self-help books. We're going to do all the things instead of actually taking action, right? So once you get the information, you actually have to take action. And don't be afraid that it's not the best action, because many of us are procrastinating. Many of us, you might be an overcoming perfectionist like myself, where you like, oh no, we tell ourselves. But what happens is, at least when you start taking action, that leads to the next action. So even if you mess up, even if you fail, even if you fall flat on your face, guess what you're not going to do again? What you just did. You're going to now have a different path. You're going to know what to do different next time. So you have to take action, take inspired action. So the three things: acceptance, ask, take action.
Laura, that was simply amazing. In the interest of time, I can't ask you guys to be able to share that one empowering thing. But if you can, for those of you that are on the virtual platform, just put in the chat one empowering thing that you could share with the audience right now that you haven't shared already when you're giving your feedback, that will help them to be able to rise up and reclaim their legacy further. Please put that in the chat. And Emil, since you're in person, I'm going to give you 30 seconds because you won't be able to. I know that's a tough quote. Tough quote. All right. Madam Toastmaster, you ready for the challenge? You got this?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
30 seconds.
30
Here
seconds.
we go. The race you're running is against yourself. We're measuring ourselves against other people. I want to do that. I want to do what she did. Race yourself. Outdo the last thing you did before. You are the thing you're trying to win at, not anybody else. The race is between you and you. So one up yourself all the time. Big up yourself. If you're West Indian, you know what that means. Give yourself a lot of love. Give yourself grace.
Yes, don't forget that, because we're
Yes.
trying to do so much. And then run your own race. It looks different for all of us. Sometimes we cut ourselves down because we're consistently comparing and challenging ourselves to be something that belongs to someone else. She's busy being her, one-upping herself, and you're busy trying to do something you weren't destined to do. So you are you're running the race against yourself. Improve every time. You've got this thing done. What is the next thing that I am trying to accomplish? One of the reasons that we don't accomplish some of the things we are trying to do is because it's not our dream, it's somebody else's. Thank you.
It's all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Okay.
I was waiting for you to come back.
You see that? Got it. All right, love it. And again, for those that are online, please put your information in the chat. I can't see right now if you put it in or not.
It should be on the side of.
Okay, so I'll look over there in a few seconds while I pass it back to Nicole. But before I do that, I just want to say these guests were simply amazing.
Yes.
I don't know. Go ahead, give them their flowers. I don't know if you guys realize we have folks from California, Pennsylvania, all over joining us here this afternoon in Long Island. It doesn't always happen like that, but because of COVID, we've been able to pivot and do things online, right? So with every disappointment or harm that happens, there's always something good, which is another thing I'm trying to say to you guys. You are here for a reason. I'm hoping that you're soaking in all the information, all of the nuggets that was shared by our amazing guests. And please, ladies, also put your information about any published books, any upcoming workshops, your email address, phone number. That way they can connect with you. Once again, thank you, Emil, and everyone else. This ends my segment. Now back over to you, amazing Nicole.
Question.
Sure, go ahead.
I always have questions. How do we get this information that's there?
The chat information, I could save the chat and email it to you. Yes, I could definitely save the chat.
Great question. I was actually gonna answer that, so thank you for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not letting my light shine.
Go away.
Thank you for not letting my light shine. But this has been phenomenal. But just to reiterate what the question was said, this is like a teaser. It's to have this conference the way that we really envision it would be a weekend, right? Or it would be at least a full day. But we understand that we're dealing with busy people because we are busy with women as well. So know that the information in the chat, the people that you heard with from the panelists, we're gonna put all this information together, even some highlights from the speakers, including myself. We'll put it together so that you can have this, because I know you might be driving, you might be in the car for those who are virtual, you might be here, but you still was not able to grasp it all. Maybe you only got 2 of the A's during that quick part. We're gonna put it together for you. You will have that. The key is to be refreshed, not to be weighed down. So just know that. Well, now that that's out the way, the next part is gonna be networking. We're gonna cut it down to 5 minutes. So for the virtual stage, you're gonna have your virtual networking. Here, I know that you had begun some conversations with the vendors. You can now continue that. Those who didn't get a card, again, those virtual, don't feel left out. I'm feeling that pressure coming. You're gonna get those details as well. We have 5 minutes on the clock for that. Virtual people, you are not left out. The Zoom Master is going to be handling this aspect of it. If you are a business owner, raise your hand. The Zoom Master will be taking notes, like we have this recorded as well. And raise your virtual hand, all of that. Announce some details if you haven't put that in the chat already. This is that portion of it that we might not be able to come to you individually to be able to talk for 6 minutes, but we have 5, which means when you have time to promote yourself, do a 30-second elevator ride. That's what you need to be thinking, people. 30-second elevator ride. So raise your hands. I know there's a number of business owners, other vendors that really want to just say something during this section. 5 minutes on the clock, please.
What am I supposed to be doing?
30-second elevator pitch of your business. You raised your hand first.
I just put it in the chat, but I'm Ava Laura. Like I said, I'm a life coach, intuitive consultant. keynote speaker. I'm here in the DMV. I know everybody's in different places. I work with clients worldwide, organizations worldwide. And essentially, really what I do is just help people from whole to wholeness, help them from where they are right now to where they want to be, whatever that is. I help women to live their life on their own terms. I just wrote a self-love journal, Girl, Get Your Effing Life. And so I've started a whole movement with really helping women to love themselves again, whoever they are, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, but getting their life by loving themselves. So you can get a copy of this. I have a brunch April 26th here in the DMV, the Girl Get Your Effing Life brunch. And we just have a really good time. We celebrate sisterhood, we celebrate self-care, we celebrate each other, and we have a time. We have a time. So it's not an inspirational brunch, it is a experiential brunch. And and I have my Morocco retreat, my Reiki and Morocco retreat in November. I'm a Reiki master teacher. So if you want to learn Reiki, if you want to refresh your Reiki, if you've heard of it and you're like, what the heck is Reiki? You get to learn all about it in Morocco. It is an amazing experience. We actually stay at a Black-owned, woman-owned healing and restoration center in Marrakesh.
Thank you. Dr. James, you wanted to speak.
Hi, my name is Dr. Nadine James. I am the founder, president, and CEO of a small nonprofit that will be large someday. And our focus is to help students who are struggling in school or just want to enhance their education to discover their full potential and recognize their full potential and discover their genius. So we help them to excel in schools, particularly in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Currently, I do have children who were a part of our cohort, and I'm proud to say all of the children from our initial cohort are now pursuing STEAM education, either in nursing or medical school. So we try to also steer them towards careers in healthcare. And we have been successful in doing so. We just haven't been successful in getting our own grants because somebody else is siphoning it. So I'll just add that. Yeah, so that's who we are. And I'm happy to say we work with students here in the US as well as students in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, and some students in Africa. Right now, we're just going through a transitioning period where we're trying to figure out what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Anybody else wanted to go? I didn't see anybody else come off the mic.
Hi, I'm Caressa. I am a published author, speaker, and makeup artist, and I strive to help others to overcome traumatic experiences with my journaling guide. My personal testimony is childhood sexual abuse, and so I totally believe in, digging down deep to unpack that unhealed trauma that a lot of us have. A lot of times we're not even aware of it until there's this certain person or thing that triggers that trauma within us. And so, I like to inspire other people to do the work so that they can heal from those traumatic experiences, because I believe that trauma dictates how we show up in relationships, whether personal, financial, spiritual, familial, all of those relationships. So it's extremely important that we work on our healing so that we can give our best self when we are showing up in these spaces. And I did put my website information in the chat. I'm currently working on a workshop with the ministry. So yes, if you guys would like to connect with me on my website or my social media platforms.
Thank you so much. We have Molly. Molly, you want to come off of mute and talk about the We Network services? Okay, I shall read. So Molly is the owner of the We Network Services LLC and certified career and business coach and networking strategist. Founder and president of We Work Elevate, a nonprofit organization focused on the upliftment of women and bridging the gap for next gen leadership. Her website is wewomenelevate.org, wenetworkservices.com, and her email is molly@wenetworkservices.com. We also have another person that's unable to speak at this time, Marilyn Sampson. Marilyn Sampson, she is a big advocate for Toastmasters. You heard Nicole speak today. You heard Josephine speak. You heard Marsha speak. I'm a little rusty, but I am a Toastmaster member as well. And I can tell you what Toastmasters brought into my life. My first speech, I cried, but it was a question. It was a 1 minute, and 5 seconds in, I cried. They said, "Thank you, have a seat." Then I kept working at it. And now I am not saying no more. So I'm taking a deep breath between me speaking. I'm giving eye contact. I'm committing a no right now by not having my camera on. But you understand, I'm giving you the love in my voice. And the last business is my business. I am the owner and founder of Beacon Accounting and Management Solutions. It is an accounting and tax business run nationwide. We focus on nonprofits and for-profits and physician offices. And then I will leave my information in the chat as well. I believe someone else wanted to go. Trying to remember.
Did you guys hear me? I have an echo. Here we go. Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I am Lada, the unicorn play goddess, and I travel the world empowering people, reminding them that play, joy, and fun is where it's at. That's where the power is. I do things online. I am in Toastmasters, and yes, it has helped me incredibly. I do workshops. I have a TED Talk all about play. But most importantly, I wear this little unicorn on my head. You guys see the unicorn? This is virtual, but I actually wear the unicorn everywhere I go. I do wear this unicorn. And what I do, if someone says something to me, this is my business, is the world. This is what I say. I have a lot of things. My Instagram, I have a lot of stuff going on. But I wear this unicorn, and if someone says something to me about the unicorn, I say, "Oh my God, you've triggered a 1 minute unicorn dance party with strangers right there. Y'all want to do it with me real quick? Here we go. Unicorn, unicorn, rainbow arms, a little prance, another prance, turn around and pose." And how that is empowering the unicorn, this is all about your antenna. Energy all over. And then sharing energy, and your power pose. With that, I think we're off to other things. I have Instagram, all that stuff, I'll put it in the chat.
Excellent, excellent. So again, if you did not have an opportunity to speak, we will be sure to get your details, make sure that you email us, and we'll make sure to put that all together. So welcome back from the break. I had to again get them from the separate room, but I have to say, we're learning people. As soon as they saw me coming, they started running. So I appreciate that. You're getting your steps in. We're getting your steps in. So welcome back from that networking experience. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, we're going to be able to put all that together, and you'll receive that in one nice big bundle. So now at this point, we have finished the networking. We are on to the award ceremony section, because it is important as women to honor each other. And there were some great nominees. If I could give everyone an award, I would, but there was one. And of course, at this time, we wanted to be able to read everyone's bio, but again, it will be in this now lengthy email that you will receive thereafter. But I'm going to read the winner that was selected for this 2025 Women Empowerment event. The winner is Raquel Charia. She is the CEO. She's the CEO and founder of Let Your Light So Shine. Raquel empowers organizations to reach their full potential. She has been renamed one of the top 5 women in business in Long Island. Raquel is a brand ambassador for Thrive Cosmetics. She is a strong advocate for women and serves as a member of Impact 100 NYC and the Stephen Spectrum Project. Raquel is a breast cancer survivor. Embodies resilience and strength. Above all, she is a proud wife and mother of 3 boys, and I'm gonna add, she is letting her light shine. So I'm gonna show you the award she's receiving today. It is this beautiful. Raquel, it is our honor and privilege to give this award to you. We welcome you to the stage to receive it. Don't worry, this is glass, but you'll get the box to put it in, okay? Yeah, all right? And say a few words to us here. So beautiful, thank you. Like you. Do you want me to hold it while you speak, or? Sure. Yes, but yes.
Knowing
For the
me,
camera.
oh.
Okay.
And she did such a great job with my last name. She only practiced twice. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this award. I'm just humbled, right? Because when I do the work that I do, and I know, and I don't want to sound cliche, but when I do the work that I do, it is not about me, right? As I was sharing with Nicole, I am never scripted because I allow the Holy Spirit to lead me with what I need to say for the spaces that He puts me into. And here today, I am just so proud to celebrate with all of you in honor of Women's History Month. Josephine and I met, what is it now, like 4 or 5 years ago. And God always uses the people He places in my life to show me the purpose for what it's meant for, whether it's a year later, a minute later, or 5 years later, right? So I am just truly blessed and honored to be in the room with all of you. When I accept awards, it is really for all the women that I'm working with, or for the girls, the young girls who are coming up, and I'm opening lanes and breaking down barriers to make sure that they have a safe space to do the work that they do. So I'm truly just here to represent everyone who I hopefully, carry with me wherever I go, and let you see them through me. I shared with Nicole that in sitting here and being a part of the conference, I was able to take, something from everyone. And so in my acceptance speech, I would now like to answer some of the questions, right? For us in the room who are doing a million things, right? As you mentioned, or multitasking, right? That used to be the norm, right? But with self-care, how many of you know that no is a full sentence? No. No, and it doesn't mean that you're taking away from anyone. It just means that you are taking care of yourself, because you cannot add one more slice to an 8-slice pizza, right? So I wanted to share that. I wanted to share, Josephine mentioned also, if I am sitting in front of God, right? And I always share this with the work that I do, I want to leave people better than I met them. That is my purpose, and that is my gift. If I meet you for 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 months, I want you to remember that Raquel made me feel this way. Raquel took care of this for me. Raquel did that, because I am here to serve, right? So I want to hear from God, well done, my humble servant. And we are here to serve. That is the purpose that we're here for. And Emile, I said it correctly. She also shared something that's really important. Many of us come from the Caribbean culture, and not that it's anything wrong with it, but because different is also good, but it's just they did the best that they could with what they were taught. And to this day and age, I am still proud to be a representation of my Trinidadian culture, because guess what? My boys walk into a room and they dare not say, good afternoon, good evening, hello, or open a door for someone, right? So it's those valuable lessons and teachings that I then have to impart upon them or the younger generation. And what I'm seeing now more than ever is that the more mature generations are still looking for purpose in their life. They still want to contribute to raising up the young ones, right? And the young ones, they want to learn from us. So we have to remember that. And mentorship, someone mentioned membership earlier. That is the key in passing down knowledge and love and faith and trust. So I just want to say here today that I'm just honored and humbled, but we all deserve this award, right? We all deserve the love and the attention for everything that we do to help leave the world a better place. And I just want to say thank you. And I hope that I continue to do this award and any other award justice as I continue the work that I do, because I have been in spaces, and as we know Josephine and her work, but where people are being pulled up from the depths of hell, right? Meaning domestic violence, human trafficking, cancer. These are not light topics that when we talk about it. So just continue, smiling at someone when you start your day, because you never know what it'll do for them, or continue supporting the organizations or the female entrepreneurs who are also a part of this conference and in this room, because that's the greatest gift you can give them, is to share about what they're doing, why they're doing, and how they're impacting the world. So thank you so much, and I'm so honored. I wrap it up to go.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing and just letting your light shine. So you see, we are surrounded by wonderful women. If you are letting your light shine, thank you. Your community thanks you. We thank you. Keep doing so, with or without the word. Raquel, we appreciate you. So now, I know we're running a little bit behind, and you saw prizes, and you're like, if they're gonna skip anything, they're gonna skip the prizes. Well, I'm letting you know, calm down, okay? We don't want road rage out there. For those who are in the physical room, we are having prizes. Yeah. So for the first one, because we have online audience and we have in person. So the first one I'm doing for online. So don't raise your hand real good, but get ready if you know the answer to this question. And the question is, the Zoom master will pick who's the first one to raise their hand. Now, you're gonna have to name not one, but two Whitney Houston songs. Go! Online. I want to dance. Oh, no, don't be giving out. I said online. Stop it in person. Stop it.
It's gonna be Charmaine.
Hello. I didn't hear that.
Charmaine.
Okay, so let's hear.
Okay, so I want to dance with somebody.
I was thinking that. Okay.
And I believe the children are the future.
Yes. Very nice. You have to dig deep. You have to dig deep for that song, but we appreciate that. You'll be getting your prize. Josephine will be in touch. You have won a prize online, like gift card. Yep, you won a gift card. So congrats. All right, I know I'm getting stared at right here with in person. You can't see it, but I'm feeling the vapors of eyes hitting you right now. All right, so this next one, there will be one winner that's online. Stop it, people, stop it. So one person online that will win, and one person in person that will win this one. So now, we'll do for the first person that raises their hand that knows the answer to this one. So you're gonna have to share one challenge. So again, once I read the question online, that's when you're able to raise your hand, and in person, you're gonna raise your hand, and whoever's the first one. All right, you have 1 minute. We gotta shorten this down, all right? You have 1 minute to share one challenge that you have overcome and how it made you a stronger woman. All right, I saw your hand first, but that's for the in-person. And I saw one online, did someone, oh wait, Zoom master. I was like, wait a minute. I may be volunteering, but my hand counts. I'm seen, I'm a person. Okay, love it. So let's first start with Genevieve. I see that hand. You were first on my screen.
Okay, so I know. one thing that I have overcome was that in 2023, I took a job that was supposed to elevate me, elevate my family, elevate my legacy beyond my wildest dreams. And it almost killed me to the point where I was leaving the stove on for a couple of days. I was burning burning rice in a rice cooker. Okay, how you burn rice in a rice cooker? And so when I leaned into my friends and my family members and my doctor, they helped me recognize that for the first time in my life, I cannot just create a list, check it off. I was in full blowout, burnout mode. And it took me about 4 months being home, just making sure the mortgage is paid, the car note, and the car insurance. Everything else, have a great day. See you when I'm well again. And checking in on myself and making sure that I was whole again to come back into the world bigger, better, and stronger than in my last season.
Thank you, Jen, for sharing. You deserve that gift card, girl. You deserve it. We are. And in person, this Francois.
I'm doing this for the gift card.
Yeah.
So one of my hardest challenges is, you can hear my sexy accent, Trini in the house.
Yeah.
Right? So when I came to this country, I was like 17, but I came from a family in, Caribbean have a large family. You're poor, so your parents just have sex and have more kids. So I have 8 brothers and sisters. So I had that small knit family, and coming to this country is very scary. And people always say, "Oh, come here, the roads are paved with gold," all these things. That's not true. And the family that I was with did not treat me well. They believe in money over morals, as in you could have sex with this guy and he would give you some money. So that was the environment I was in. And to the point where they put me out on the street with a black garbage bag. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep. It was the scariest thing, especially when I had the mindset of a 10-year-old, so I did not know what I was doing. All I have to say is always be nice to people, because the barber that I used to walk to work, the barber, I went inside, that's the person I used to say, "Good morning, manners, good morning, good evening," or whatever. I told him I had nowhere to stay. He said, "Well, girl, I have a wife, so you can't come home with me." But the good news is, it so happened a guy was passing by, and back then it was like 20 years ago, so he was like the gay, the flame, like, "Oh my God." So he was nice enough. When the barber asked him if I could stay with him, he realized he recognized me because he had cussed me out because I worked in McDonald's like a week before, because he was like, "You stupid, you don't know how to do my meal." But that same guy who cussed me out a week before was nice enough to let me stay with him. And think about it, that's a total stranger that I'm sleeping in someone's bed. The cool thing is he was gay, thank God. But I was just, one of the things is just be nice to everybody, because at least he was nice to me. I was able to get a ride to New York because I used to live in New Jersey. And I'm just grateful that there are kind people in the world. And even though your family is always the one that seems to kick you in your face, but I wasn't hoeing around, okay? I just because you never know.
Thank you, Patrice, for that enlightening story there. Now, I'm running low on time, so I've recruited a Vanna Black to give you your gift impression. AKA model Josephine, who will deliver your in-person prize to Patrice. And now, actually, Patrice, come on up and let her be the camera. I thought she was gonna come up for the camera, but she had me here, so I said, "All right, I'll stay." Congratulations, let me make sure. Yes, Pearl, honey, yes. Remember, she has a show. And last but not least, the final prize goes to the person that was the first. This is our first hybrid event, right? That we're doing it an in-person aspect. So this was the first person to sign up for the in-person portion of this event. And that is Ashley Orenstein. That's our girl. Look at you. He's getting that gift card.
And Ashley's pregnant, so the baby's gonna eat too.
So two people were getting that. See, we're all trying to save a deal. She was the first, so next time you could have been first. Okay? So think of that. So sometimes things may or may not go your way. Like I gave the story before about my wedding. Things may not be perfect, but it was perfect for us. This event has been perfect for us. So before we close out for the closing, I'm gonna bring our very own back to the stage, stomp into the front. That's how she stays in, people. It's Josephine McFarland.
Thank you, Nicole. And before I do the closing, most of you who know me know that I love to dance. I can't play music because it's copyright and I did not get any approvals. And so when we do the video, it will all be edited out, hence we're not gonna waste time like that. However, we Black and brown folks, stop it, myself. Hey, we gonna make this work before I do my closing. I need a beat. Somebody give a beat. Come on now, come on. Listen, don't act like you don't. All right. Thank you guys for we gotta keep it balanced a little bit, just a little bit. I have to just, pour that energy. For those of you who know me, I have to make sure that we represent a little bit, even without the music. And as I close, thank you for humoring us. Thank you for making this event perfect for us. With our imperfections, there's perfection, because there's no person that is perfect. For those of you that are religious, except God. For those of you who are not religious, except the universe. That's the only thing that is perfect. Because of the universe, because of God, we do exist. Our theme was Rise and Reclaim. It is my hope that you have gotten information perfect for you and you and you that will allow you to not just stand tall, but rise and reclaim your legacy, the one that you were given at birth. Hence, Andrea's legacy was that seed that was planted in her at birth. Dr. Sandy's legacy is the one that was planted within her at birth. Dr. Nadine is the same thing. Each of us has a seed of greatness within us. Water your seed. Make sure it gets sunshine. You don't want it under a dark place, because then you will not flourish. All those negative Nigels are trying to impinge on you, stomp them out. Ignore them, because they do not define you. They're not your creator. Know who you are. Know that you are enough. You are complete. You do not need anyone to complete you at all. I know it's been said, especially for those who are married, my partner completes me. It's cute, but they really don't. Serious, they really don't. And I'm married, I'm experienced. I love my husband and he's amazing. I'm sure Camille loves her husband and you heard he's amazing. She shared it with us. He's amazing. However, know by yourself, you are enough. You are amazing. And I'm sorry to do the church thing, but right now on the virtual platform, unmute yourself. And for those of us in here in the space, say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
All right now. And then for the people in the back, let's do one more time. I am enough.
I am enough.
Thank you. Now rise up and reclaim your legacy. The future is waiting for you. Don't disappoint the future. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Ooh.
And your most gracious hostesses. I hope you had an amazing time. Thank you for joining us. And come back next year, okay?
Yes.
And bring a friend
or
too.
Bring a friend.
Or two. Go ahead, bring a friend. Yes. 3 or 4. Thank you once again.
Thank you for your time.
And this is Zoom and recording.